In this clinic doctor training video, we're going to go through how to put together a financial treatment plan for your patients. So we're going to start in the scheduler and click on the patient's name. You can also locate the patient's file by doing a search in the upper left-hand corner. So on the treatment dashboard and also accessible on the billing dashboard, we have the treatment plan. If no treatment plan has been saved, you can go ahead and click the plus sign to add a new treatment plan. Now, when you're doing a treatment plan, it's assumed that you've already done at least a basic insurance verification to determine benefits and also the amount of deductible remaining, copay, and coinsurance. The very first field is the start date. This will default as today's date. You can backdate this, and what that'll do is when you save the treatment plan, if the patient has already come in for visits, it will look to see number of claims that have already been done since that start date to add to your counter. All right, so treatment plan type, we have cash and insurance in cash. Cash is that the patient is only going to be paying cash and you won't be submitting any claims for insurance benefits. So if you're submitting any claims to insurance, you would click insurance in cash, and then the system will expand for you to enter in deductible remaining, copay, and coinsurance. All right, so we're going to put in that this patient has, let's say, a $500 deductible remaining, and that they have a 20% coinsurance after that deductible has been met. And then over to the right here, we can add in what services the patient is going to receive and the frequency. So this type of service dropdown, there's a variety of different types of services, so just be aware of this. The adjustment type service is the only one that's going to go towards the treatment visit counter. So we're going to start by typing in our adjustment code. You can either type it in like this, and then that will bring up the actual code in the system. Or you can optionally use this lookup code box and start from scratch, either typing information about the description, like if we were to type in spinal, we'd get a number of different spinal codes to go through and choose our adjustment code, or you can type in the actual code itself. When you select your code, you'll notice here we have the general clinic plan, which is the amount that we would bill to insurance. And then optionally through your billing menu in the billing plan section, you can add in additional payers or plan names to be able to track different allowable amounts. And this is helpful in your treatment plan creation so that you can better estimate things like deductibles and coinsurances that rely on a specific allowable. And some of these might be estimates, as, for example, Blue Cross has so many different plans, it's difficult to track every single allowable for Blue Cross in some situations, but this way you'll have a better guesstimate of what the patient might owe for deductibles and coinsurances. So I'm going to go ahead and select that this patient has an Aetna plan. And so that's going to drop that allowable from our fee of $70 to a fee of $65.64. And we'll show you on the treatment plan output how that reflects in our calculations. So to the far right, we have three different types of care that we can attribute this service to. Acute is the only category that will go against insurance benefits. And so for anything that you're planning on submitting to insurance and will be covered by insurance, make sure to put that in the acute category. So we'll go ahead and put this patient's going to have 24 adjustments and hit add. Now the corrective and wellness categories will not go towards any insurance benefits, so assume that these are 100% self-pay, cash pay types of care. And so for corrective, you can use that for any services that are maybe not covered by insurance or done still in the corrective phase of care, but won't be covered by their insurance. And then wellness, obviously, is wellness. So you can use that category as well to indicate a certain type of care that's going to be provided that's cash only. All right, so you can continue to add in services until your treatment plan is done. So for example, we can add in therapies. We'll add in, let's say, therapeutic exercise here. If you're doing a unit-based code, just know that this is a per unit selection. And so for example, if we're choosing this Aetna allowable again of $27.25, and if the patient is going to be having this service 12 times for 3 units, then we would put 36 in this acute section. And then let's just say hypothetically that the patient is going to be receiving a service that we've already verified is not a covered benefit under their plan. And so let's just say hypothetically in this situation that the patient is going to be getting traction, and let's just say we've already confirmed it's not covered. And so we have some different options here. We can, if we're billing the patient the full entire amount, we can do the general clinic plan. Otherwise, if we're going to be doing this service but doing it cash only, we could selectively choose an S8990 code for the wellness therapy. So either is fine. I'll show you how to do both here. So if we're charging the patient the entire charge amount that we would normally charge insurance, then we would do general clinic plan. And then rather than putting it in acute, because we know that it's not going to be covered for this scenario, we would put that in corrective. So let's say hypothetically we're going to be doing 12 of those, and we can add that in. And then if you are doing something and you're using a wellness code, similar step, we would type in S8990 or use the lookup area, and then we have our different wellness tiers here. So let's say hypothetically we were doing a wellness therapy tier A. We can click on that and indicate the pricing here. And then we can indicate if that's going to be in the corrective phase of care or wellness phase of care. I'll go ahead and put this in wellness. You can just see how that shows up in the different area of the treatment plan output. All right, so once we have all of our services as desired listed here, we can go ahead and hit Create Treatment Plan. And this is our output. So you can see here, these are the different services. And then you can see what the clinic would charge insurance for those different services. So that's this general plan column. And then frequency. And then we have a subtotal. And so if you're to look purely just at just the charges of all the different services that we're anticipating this patient would receive, this would be our total. And then now when we go into the breakdown of acute insurance, corrective, or cash, this yellow section here will show, based on those estimated allowable amounts from our billing plan section, we have a lower subtotal than our original charge amount. And so all this is just saying, hey, look, we're in network with insurance, we're anticipating a discount. Here's the amount that we're estimating is going to be the allowable. And then down below that, we have the different breakdowns of patient responsibility based on that benefit information we had typed in. So based on that $500 deductible remaining, and then the calculation of coinsurance from the difference of the acute care total minus the deductible, then it's going to show that the total patient responsibility for the insurance portion of care is $911.27. And then we're estimating that the insurance company may cover roughly $1,645.09. And then when we look over to the green section, this is the corrective section that we had used the 97012 as our example. So this section again would be services that are not covered by insurance, or insurance is maybe you've reached a benefit max and you know that there's going to be services that are not covered beyond what you've billed. So that's a great example of when to put those in corrective. So these again don't go towards any insurance benefits. And neither does the wellness section. So here's that S code that we used in the wellness category. So that's going to give us corrective care, wellness care totals. And then the very grand total that the patient owes is in the bottom right. So at this point in time, we can go back and edit if we feel like we need to make any kind of modifications at this point. And that'll bring us back to this page here. Otherwise, if we're getting ready to print to go through this with the patient, we would hit print. And then this little text box here allows you to enter in some additional text. And that will go into the treatment plan here. So when I hit OK, that'll bring up a PDF to print out. So we have some treatment plan language throughout here. And then any text that you've added in additionally will show up at the bottom. And then we have here the payment terms where the patient can sign. Financing, then you can write in what the financing plan is with the patient, if they're going to be paying up front versus a payment plan. And then you'd have the clinic representative that went through this with the patient signed at the bottom as well. And then this is a document that you could scan and upload into the patient's document section. Alrighty. So if you'd like to solidify this plan and show that it's been agreed to, which at that point in time you can no longer edit the treatment plan, you would hit agree to. And then when we go into the patient's treatment dashboard, you can now see that this treatment plan is active. It has the start date noted and the total visits here that again are based on the number of adjustments that we had put in under this adjustment category. On the treatment dashboard, you can also modify your orders. to match your treatment plan. So in other words, you can edit these to indicate how many are anticipated. And now the start date is going to automatically go back 60 days. But if you were to change this to yesterday, for example, then we would be able to see now that this order, that none have been performed since the start date. So then our anticipated matches the total in our treatment plan. And then we can add an additional order. So for example, if we wanted to put in our 36 instances of 97110, we can hit the plus. And then we would go through and grab our service here under therapeutic procedures, 97110. Add that in. And then edit in. And actually, I correct myself, this is not counting the units. This is just counting total instances of this service on the claim. So rather than typing in 36 units, if we're planning on doing this 12 different times, we would put in 12, and that'll count the number of instances of that service in our claims. All right, so if you needed to go back into the treatment plan and view and reprint for any reason, you can access again from the treatment dashboard. You can also access from the billing dashboard. Click there, and then you can always reprint this. So if the patient, let's say, gets into an accident and you need to terminate the plan, or maybe they have a completely different injury and you need to restructure their care plan, you would hit terminate plan, and then you'd be able to create a new one. All right, so that's it for treatment plan. Always feel free to contact your account manager if you have any questions on usage of the treatment plan. We're happy to help you anytime.